Welcome to today's lesson of Online School of Entrepreneurship. I am Dr. Kirian Mfam. In this lecture, we will look at resilience as an entrepreneurial virtue. Resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties or toughness. So once you face a difficult situation or a difficult challenge, it is the resilient spirit in you that will make you to recover quickly and move forward. Resilience empowers entrepreneurs to accept and adapt to situations and move forward. So entrepreneurs that have resilience have that tendency to always accept change and adapt to new situations, hence moving forward. Resilience refers to both the process and the outcome of successfully adapting to difficult or challenging entrepreneurial experiences. Now, it should be noted here that entrepreneurial experiences are not smooth. They are ups and downs. They are fronts and backs. So resilience helps the entrepreneur to successfully overcome difficult entrepreneurial challenges. And resilience is having the mental, emotional, and behavioral flexibility and ability to adjust to both internal and external demands of entrepreneurial activities. Resilience is again the ability of an entrepreneur to withstand adversity and bounce back and grow despite life's downturns. So it is the resilience in an entrepreneur that will enable an entrepreneur to bounce back when faced with setbacks. Research shows that highly resilient people, such as entrepreneurs, tend to possess three common traits. 1. Acceptance. That is, see reality for what it really is. Resilience does not mean naive optimism. Highly resilient people are clear-eyed about the nature of the challenges they face. Neither overly optimistic or pessimistic. This acceptance of the way things really are allows them to be more effective at designing strategies to navigate their challenges productively. So as an entrepreneur, if you have resilience, it means you accept things the way they are. And by accepting things the way they are, you are prepared to develop strategies and measures to overcome those challenges so that you continue to be productive. 2. Purpose. That is, clarify your values. Purpose doesn't have to be something grandiose or spiritual. Having a sense of purpose can simply mean that you have positive things in your life that you are excited about, curious about, look forward to, and that you consider valuable. The more of these intrinsic values we have, the stronger our sense of purpose, and therefore the more motivation we have to persevere through difficulties. So this trait or characteristic of resilience is that you must be purpose-driven. That it is the purpose in you that will guide you to be excited. That it will guide you to be curious, and to help you to always look forward. 3. Flexibility. That is strong beliefs, loosely held. Resilient entrepreneurs or people have an uncanny ability to be flexible when circumstances change. Rather than becoming paralyzed or resorting to wishing and complaining that things were different. Just like the video you are watching beside me. They set about to change the one thing they actually have control over, which is themselves. So what entrepreneurs do is that through the spirit of resilience, through the virtue of resilience, they are able to adapt because they are flexible. They are not rigid. They try to change themselves to meet the challenges that are before them. Just like the video you are watching beside me. They put another way, resilient people have a knack for being creative and inventive in the face of stress. This allows them to adapt to the difficulties rather than crumble. So through flexibility, you will be able to adapt to challenges rather than giving up to challenges. Importantly, we know that these are not simply genetic gifts. Some lucky few are born with them. They are skills all of us can learn to build. Whether you like to handle relationship conflict more confidently, bounce back a little quicker from setbacks at work, or cope with anxiety and stress a little better, you can learn a lot from the three traits of highly resilient people. It is important to also note that being resilient requires a skill set that you can work on and grow over time. Building resilience takes time, strength, and help from people around you. You will likely experience setbacks along the way. It depends on personal behaviors and skills, such as self-esteem and communication skills, as well as external things like social support and resources available to you. What then are the benefits of entrepreneurial resilience? The single most important threat for achieving big goals is the capacity to return again and again to the task. Some benefits of entrepreneurial resilience are: 1. Sense of community. Being resilient doesn't only come from suffering alone and without support. That is one way to be resilient, and we all experience this individual passage in life. But we are more resilient when we have supportive relationships to fall back on. Resilience requires community, even if it's a community of two. Best case scenario is to have a community that is diverse in experience, age, outlook, talents, skills, and viewpoints. These differences help us to be more resilient. Having a sense of community teaches us to look outward and to see a greatness that exists beyond our own individual desires. We are able to see that we can produce a change that is so significant for the whole that it makes the individual adversity at hand worth working through. 2. Nothing is insurmountable. That is to say, nothing cannot be overcome or achieved. We cannot allow others to say no to us. We must hold the deep belief that nothing is impossible or insurmountable. There is always more than one way up the same mountain. Resilience is not just about struggling and surviving, as much as it is about being resourceful enough to thrive. We must be leaders in our own right and turn each no into a nest. Make the choice to dig deep and do the insurmountable. Once we see that we can do what we thought we couldn't. We are more prepared for the new challenges. We are sure to face. Resilience requires a certain stubbornness to do what we set out to do, regardless of adversity. 3. Change is constant. Change and challenge are fundamental to the development of who we are. How we handle change is the maker of our ability to adapt. To be resilient, we must flex in response to the changes which come our way and reset ourselves. As we face challenge, we each have the right and responsibility to examine the roads ahead of us and those we have already traveled. As we take inventory of where we are now, we also have the right to step off any and all negative routes without feeling any shame or embarrassment to take another direction. To be resilient, we must be wise to understand that when we cannot change our circumstances, we must change ourselves. 4. Hold tight to your dream. Entrepreneurs are often told to find their why, but few realize the origins of that advice is that Viktor Franklin's mad search for meaning. His remarkable memoir of surviving the Auschwitz death camp. Franklin realized in Auschwitz that what separated survivors from those who died was a combination of luck and a reason to live. When a man knows the why of his existence, he will be able to bear almost anyhow. The responsibility we bear in life is always towards others. Because of love, more than success or riches, gives us the deepest and most meaningful reason to keep going. Our why is where hope lives. It is what motivates us to hold tight to our dreams. Happiness, resilience, and motivation are greatly increased when we have something to look forward to. So it is imperative to stay focused on our bigger picture when facing hardship. In this way, happiness and success are not the goal of our journey, but rather the side effect of it. 5. Nurture your mind. All great successes read. When we are in the middle of our more trying times, it is essential we find stories of those who have survived similar trespasses to ours. Through their stories, we find hope, new perspectives, and new ways to go through our own trials. We must make use of our great poetry, meaningful stories, music, and movies. All of these resources inspire us back to our purpose. Reading nurtures our mind and develops our wisdom. Through reading, we grow in our education and fortitude to stretch in the ways our journey requires. When we nurture our minds, we nurture our spirits. Reading helps build our resilience because it fills our minds with information that inspires movement. 6. Keep moving. To keep moving, we must gather our bones. We need a backbone, a wishbone, and a funny bone. Resilience isn't limited to only surviving the depths and terrors of the green. It's also about keeping a hopeful heart, believing in the magic of this universe, and never losing our sense of humor. If we take ourselves too seriously, we burn out. We must strive to be lighthearted as much as possible. Pressure kills longing. Movement is inspired through longing, through joy, and through the ability to stay strong in our convictions. To keep moving, we must have the spine, the will, and the deep commitment to keep taking that next step towards our goal. 7. Self-discovery. It is normal to get down on ourselves when we are being challenged. We may lose faith in ourselves or go through periods where we feel like we are doing everything wrong. The struggles we face in life and businesses are essential to our success. It is out of our suffering that we gain our depth, resilience, and wisdom. We come to find the true meaning behind who we are and what we are made of. Challenge leads us to the getaway of our personal and professional transcendence. Through our self-discovery, we find clarity. We are able to uncover, acknowledge, and properly own our blind spots. We learn to remove barriers to ourselves by challenging old beliefs and analyzing and all false assumptions we may hold. We come to see that we don't need to change ourselves. We need to focus on enhancing ourselves. 8. Love yourself. When we love ourselves, we laugh more, we smile, and we are more resilient. We must be authentic and not hide who we are from others. Authenticity is what creates and deepens bonds. This invites people towards us, and this is what liberates us. When we love ourselves, we have that undeniable resilience that naturally lifts the spirits of others. It is important to love and acknowledge others, to give them hope, and to bring greatness into them. When we feel valued, we are much more likely to stand up for ourselves. It takes a rebelliousness to speak up. We must speak for our integrity and that of others against negativity. Resilience helps us develop a voice that competes with the judgments of other people. Please support us in this our lecture series by 1. Following us on our Facebook page, Online School of Entrepreneurship. 2. Subscribing to our YouTube channel, Entrepreneurship Teacher. And 3. Liking, commenting, and sharing our post. Thank you and God bless you.